A headstrong teenager falls for an older boy.
At that time, her and her mom had gotten into a pretty big argument.
14-year-old Ashley Summers has run away before, but in 2007, it's for good.
Did Ashley engage in runaway behavior initially and then something happened?
The FBI linked her to one of the biggest abduction cases in the country, Ariel Castro.
They had reported 4 women, but we didn't know who the other 2 women were.
After a decade of possible sightings, is Ashley Summers still alive?
We're looking for crime scene material and we're not finding it.
Now I'm scouring the file to see if this cold case can ever be solved.
My name's James Renner, and I was a crime reporter in Cleveland for a decade. And this was at a time when there were 2 active serial killers working the city. And I covered a lot of unsolved cases. But there's one that still remains unsolved on the near west side, and that's the disappearance of Ashley Summers.
On July 4th, 2007, 14-year-old Ashley Summers left a family party and vanished into thin air. The FBI were immediately alerted because along with Amanda Berry and Gina DeJesus, Ashley was the 3rd young girl to go missing from the same working-class neighborhood on the west side of Cleveland. Fears of a serial abductor would eventually go down in history as one of America's most infamous crimes. It's been 11 years since Ashley disappeared, and I'm going to meet her family to find out what was going on in her life at the time of her disappearance.
I've kept all the different case information about her over the years, different research I've done.
I've come to meet Linda Summers, Ashley's step-grandmother, and a very close member of her extended family. Can you tell us a little bit about what Ashley was like?
Ashley was always smiling. She was really outgoing. She was really friendly.
This is a big family, right?
It is a big family, yes. She had lots of brothers and sisters, lots of cousins. She was the oldest of all of them.
What was the relationship like between Jennifer and her daughter Ashley?
They were really close, but at that time, her and her mom had gotten into a pretty big argument.
Ashley and her mom clashed often, and things came to a head when Ashley started dating an older boy and even got his name tattooed on her arm. Having run away before, Ashley moved out.
She was staying with her grandmother for a little bit, but ended up at her granduncle's house.
And it was after a family party at her Uncle Kevin's house that Ashley disappeared for good. Ashley Summers disappeared after a 4th of July family party in 2007. She hasn't been seen since. So how did you guys come to realize that Ashley was gone?
Her mom didn't know she was missing till like the 6th of July because she thought she was still at Kevin's house. Kevin thought she was at maybe grandma's house or somebody else's house.
They immediately contacted the police and an investigation quickly got underway. Anybody question Jean after she went missing?
Oh yeah. He says he doesn't know anything. He and his family went to Alabama for a family reunion.
Okay, so he's
out of town when she disappears.
Was Ashley's father ever in the picture?
I've never met her father. He's never been in the picture.
The initial investigation was going nowhere, but later that month, there was a glimmer of hope. Ashley's mother believes that she got a call from Ashley after her disappearance.
Her mom had told us it. She got a call and just said, "Mom, I'm all right." And by the time she could react, it hung up the phone just that fast.
Do you think that was Ashley?
Her mom thinks it was, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's very possible. Why would anybody pull that kind of prank on her?
For almost 5 years, Ashley's disappearance goes unsolved. But it was in May 2013 that one of the biggest crime stories in U.S. history hit the headlines, and the Summers family thought Ashley might finally be coming home.
So I think everybody in Cleveland remembers exactly where they were when the news about Amanda Berry and Gina DeJesus happened.
Following a remarkable escape, it emerged that multiple young women had been held captive for years by local resident Ariel Castro.
Where were you? What was going through your mind at the time?
When I heard the news, I cried. I just basically cried. And I was like, because they had reported 4 women, and we knew it was Amanda Berry, and we knew it was Gina DeJesus, but we didn't know who the other 2 women were. And we thought for sure, everybody in the family thought for sure it was Ashley.
Sure.
100%, because her case was tied to theirs for so many years. And then when we found out it wasn't, it was almost like that big letdown, that roller coaster.
After all these years, what do you think happened to Ashley after she left the party that day?
I think somebody told her, hey, you can stay here. And I think that whoever she stayed with ended up getting her involved in human trafficking.
So if she happens to be watching this, is there anything that you would like her to know?
I would like her to know that she has people here that love her and want her home. And even if she thinks her mom's mad at her, she's not. Her mom wants her home.
To get more information on the state of the case today, I'm heading to meet Vicki Anderson, the FBI agent who handled both the search for Ashley and for the women abducted by Ariel Castro. At the time, there were 2 other young women who had gone missing from that same few blocks around that area, Amanda Berry and Gina DeJesus. Did everybody think at that time you have an active serial killer?
We didn't know because we didn't have crime scenes. We're looking for abductions. We're looking for, crime scene material and evidence, and we're not finding it.
May 2013, the news came in of these girls escaping a house on the west side.
That was crazy. We had media from all over the world that were in Cleveland for the whole week. So we exploited it as much as we could. We still needed a closure for Ashley.
In 2007, Ashley's mom claimed she received a short phone call from her daughter, saying she was okay. I want to know if the FBI could trace it.
Is there any way to go back and get those records at this point?
11 years out, the phone
right.
company's been sold to, another company, and believe me, we've tried, because that would be a heck of a tip to run down.
There was another possible sighting pretty recently in Rhode Island, a young woman trying to steal some money. They got her picture, and it's hard not to see a resemblance there.
We were all just, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, is this really her? Because the eyebrows, everything, if you put those pictures next to each other, there's such a striking resemblance. We just threw it up on the billboards all up and down the East Coast. And we immediately received a call from this young lady's parents. So she was positively identified, and it was not Ashley.
So recently, you've released an age progression of what she might look like
Right.
now.
We're not looking for a 14-year-old girl now. We're looking for a young woman that's fully grown, and she's changed. I'm an optimistic person, so I hope that she's out there, that she sees some of this publicity and says, okay, I'm just gonna call, and picks up that phone and calls mom. That's my perfect world hunch.
There's no doubt in my mind that the FBI and the police have done everything they can do to find Ashley Summers.
I don't think we're dealing with sex trafficking here. I think this is a crime of passion and opportunity, and I think someone close to Ashley knows what happened. But beyond the ATM photo, there have been no tips for years.
Solving cases like this doesn't happen unless you get the public involved and somebody comes forward and has the courage to share the information that they know. If we get the word out about this case, somebody with that missing piece of the puzzle might finally come forward.